Yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing my comic load for the week, as well as news, updates, and Q&As. So, this week is, well, quite a big week. As always, the second week of the month. And with that, it also comes out with some of my favorite comics. Uh, some pretty interesting, damn good comics, too. It's going to be fun this week, doing this review. So, we might as well just jump into it, and then we'll also do some updates, some news, and of course Q&As, or at least I respond to your comments from the previous video, which I like responding to comments a lot. And we might as well start where we always start, with a little bit of Batman in our life, with Batman issue number 18. And as always, for Batman, I get all the issue covers. So let's just take a look at these nice little covers here. As you can tell, they're sticking with the Robin Requiem, or Requiem for Robin theme. We got the digital download one right here, which I just give my code to my buddy, and he lets me read all his comics whenever I get a chance. But I don't really. I only read my comics, so it doesn't really matter. And, of course, the variant. I forget if there was another variant cover. DC really doesn't show all their variants on the inside. Like Dynamite, IDW, Dark Horse, and all the other ones do. But yes, Requiem for Robin. So basically this is another Harper Row issue. And let me divulge into how I feel about Harper Row just a bit. Now, whether or not Harper Row is going to become Robin or become anything else for that matter, we don't know, and I don't want to jump too far forward. I know I did put her at the top of my list of characters that should become Robin, but like I said, it's a little too early and too soon to tell, especially with the next story arc that's going to be coming up, which I'll get into a little bit later. But I do like Harper Row as a character, and I really wanted to see her in this issue, and this is a very focused issue on her because she gets to witness the effects of Robin's death on Batman. And yes, it is a little Tim Drakey where she sees Batman get very pent up and angry and just go crazy and reckless like he did back in the 80s when Jason Todd died. But again, we're seeing this through a different perspective. We're seeing it through Harper's perspective. And Harper is not like Tim, where Tim felt as though it was necessary to help out Batman for the sake of helping Batman. Harper feels as though there's some kinship between him and Batman because she's had loss in her life too. It's revealed in this issue that Harper's mother is dead and her father is in jail. Not a big spoiler, but it's something that I am going to point out. And basically, she feels a connection with Batman in that her father or her mother has died, and well, obviously there has been loss in Batman's life. There's been a lot of loss in Batman's life. And that's basically the issue. Harper and Batman kind of coming to a odd understanding with each other because in addition to the fact that Harper is trying to connect with Batman, she's also saying to him, "Listen, you're my hero. You inspired me. I want to do good because of you. I'm not here to help you out, although that might be a minor side thing. I'm here to prove to you that I'm ready to go. I'm Harper Row." So we'll divulge into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Like I said, whether or not Harper um, becomes Robin or becomes something else doesn't really matter to me. I'm digging her character, I'm digging her backstory, and I'm digging what Scott Snyder is doing with her. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with her in the future, and I think she's almost DC's I'm Sorry with Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown not being around. Without actually her being Cassandra Cain and Stephanie Brown mixed together. She is her own person, and with that I find her entirely more interesting than Stephanie Brown ever was, and probably just as interesting as Cassandra Cain. I've always been a fan of Cassandra Cain, I just never cared of her as Batgirl. I think Cassandra Cain should have always been her own personality. Anyways, in saying that, I do like Harper Row in this issue. I like how she connects with Batman, and I do like the interactions that go on between them. Andy Kubert shows up. Kubert. Andy Kubert shows up, and he does the art on this, and the art is fantastic and beautiful. Really nice eye candy. I do enjoy Greg Capullo a lot, but it's good to mix things up every once in a while. Have a different artist, do some different stuff here and there. So some great art, some really stunning looking art. Um, Batman, I felt as though feels natural in what Batman should do and how he should act, but we don't get rage Batman in this. Batman eventually admits that, yeah, maybe I'm being kind of an asshole. My son died, but I'm being kind of an asshole. Um, and it's just really, really good to see things from an outside perspective because, as you'll see in the next issue that I review, we're going to see a lot of how Bruce is dealing with Robin dying. Bad. The only bad I could say, and this is nothing against the issue, but I'll talk about this more when I do my what I am thinking about Damien's death, and I am going to do one. Is the fact that this feels a lot reminiscent to Jason Todd's death. And this does feel Tim Drake-ish, kind of helping out Batman. But putting that aside, I still enjoyed this issue a lot. 5 out of 5. Next would be Batman and Robin, issue number 18. The real Requiem issue that should be used for Batman dealing with Robin's death. This is an all-silent issue. There is no dialogue in it, save from a letter that Damien gave Batman. And that's it. I'm not going to reveal too much of what happens in this, but it's really Batman, Titus, and Alfred dealing with the death of Damien, and more so Batman than anyone else. And let me just say right now, 5 out of 5, this thing is a masterpiece. If there is a comic that you pick up this week just for the sheer sake of enjoying a comic, it's probably Batman Robin. So beautifully done, and with all the build-up and relationship building and everything that's happened from the previous 17 issues, you really get a lot out of this. Get a lot. 5 out of 5. Batgirl issue number 18, Requiem for Robin, which is a little deceiving because there's very little Requiem for Robin in this. Uh, Batgirl and Robin really didn't interact too much, so I don't see why they're doing this. They're doing it with all the Batman titles, except for Birds of Prey and Talon. But basically, in this issue, Batgirl finds out that Robin's dead. She tries to contact Dick, and that's about all there is Requiem for Robin. The real story in this is her versus her brother, which, let me tell you, is getting pretty damn intense. Her brother is really pushing his little war against Barbara closer and closer to home, quite literally. Um, and we really divulge more into what makes James Gordon Jr. just absolutely crazy. A good, bad, whether or not you should get it. The dialogue was very solid with this. The characterization was great. I really do like James Gordon Jr. and I like his interaction with Barbara because it really is her Joker, her Lex Luthor, her Cheetah, her Doctor Octopus, her Sabretooth. This is her arch nemesis, and it really has a lot of rawness to it, which I like. Bad, the Robin Requiem, or the Requiem for Robin stuff is just thrown in there. It really, I mean, the James Gordon stuff feels kind of cool, but the Barbara Gordon stuff, she doesn't even, like, care. She just picks up the phone and she goes, "Hey, Dick, Robin dead? Raffle. I know. I know. He's a twerp. Okay, bye." That's it. She shows no emotion whatsoever towards it. Uh, yeah. So that's the bad there. On a whole, I think I enjoyed this issue a lot, if not just for the James Gordon stuff, and shit is going to get real in the next issue. 3.5 out of 5 was fun. Moving on to, let's do a little Marvel, break it up a little. Wolverine issue number 1. So, like I said, I like Wolverine. I'm going to talk about this from the Savage Wolverine review. I like Wolverine. I don't think Wolverine's in the place that he should be as a character, but I still like him as a character. You know, what's there not to like? He has a healing factor, he has claws that comes out of his hands, and he just is a badass. There's no denying that. If I had control of Marvel, I'd probably do Wolverine a little bit differently, but I'm not going to bother getting into that because my Wolverine may not necessarily be the best type of Wolverine. It's just a Wolverine that I would prefer. I understand that. Marvel is a different case for me. I don't understand the characters quite as well, or at least they don't mesh as well with me. But I do like Wolverine as a character, and I do want to read his own series. You know why? And here's the kicker, people. Here's the important reason why. It's Wolverine alone. There's no X-Men, no Avengers, no stupid-ass team-ups. This is Wolverine alone. I've been reading Wolverine's older first series in trade very slowly, but I have been reading it. And you know what I enjoy about it is it's just kind of Wolverine being Wolverine, doing his own thing. And I've always liked the concept of Wolverine being on his own, doing his own thing, being his own hero, not having to be connected to the Avengers or having to be connected to the X-Men. Because if you think about it, if you're gonna go read Wolverine, you don't go to his normal title, you go to the X-Men, and that's where Wolverine is most famous for. Um, but I am pumped for this issue because it's Wolverine on his own, and Paul Cornell is on it, and Paul Cornell has done a great job with Demonites on DC. I'm interested to see how he handles Marvel's main man. So basically, the story starts off in the middle of the action, and there's this gun that's possessing people and shooting people, and Wolverine is tracking down this gun. That's it. That's the story thus far. Um, so we might as well. I know it doesn't seem like much. There's more there, obviously, but the gun's just taking over people, and it sees Wolverine as kind of like a high school science fair project. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. I do like how Wolverine's portrayed in this. He feels a little bit more superhero-ish rather than anti-hero-ish. I particularly for some reason like the dialogue where a bunch of people come in and he goes, "Don't worry, I'm Wolverine. No, I'm an Avenger. Codename Wolverine." And he shows that he's a hero. He doesn't say, "Don't worry, I'm an X-Man." He kind of just says, I'm Wolverine. I'll take care of this." Which again, I like the fact that Wolverine is kind of portrayed as his own kind of hero rather than being associated with any one person. Even though he said codename Avenger or Avenger codename Wolverine, he still is his own person, which I do like. I thought the art was pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of this artist. I know this artist is well known among people, but I mean the art is good. I think Wolverine in this was fun to watch. There was some nice action in this, and some tender moments with Wolverine and this kid. Bad. So one guy is possessed by this gun, and Wolverine just spoiler. Wolverine just outright kills him. Doesn't try to get the gun out of his hand at all. Doesn't try to even cut off the hand. Wolverine just goes, I'm gonna kill him. Traumatizing the poor child who's the son of this father. I'm gonna kill him. I thought that was a little weird. So I didn't care for that. Uh, Other than that, I mean, this was actually a pretty good issue. I'm intrigued on what's going to happen. So with that said, I'm gonna give Wolverine #1 a 4 out of 5. Enjoyable. I'm intrigued to see what happens. Kind of a silly moment there where he just goes, gotta kill him. But other than that, pretty fun. Sorry if I got a little spoilerish there, but I had to talk about it. Moving on to another badass, Deathstroke issue number 18. So basically, Deathstroke is being attacked by Super Ninja Cyber Warrior, and Deathstroke has to do what he does best, which is kill, terminate, defeat this bad boy. And Deathstroke does it all for $1. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good, this book just has fucking action up the wazoo, and it's so good. Love the action in this. The art is great. Really do love the art. And some really nice Deathstroke moments. I think that Justin Jordan has a great voice for Deathstroke. Bad? None. 5 out of 5. Deathstroke's past, like, 4 issues have been the best that Deathstroke has done. Period. Justin Jordan, I'm upset that you're not going to be on this title and that this title is not going to be around after a couple issues. It's a damn shame. You're doing a fantastic job. Thank you. Moving on to Ravagers issue number 10. 10, yeah, we're on 10. 10. I almost said 18. Basically, the Ravagers are dealing, they're kind of settling in. They're not on the hunt anymore. They're not worried about being killed anymore. And by doing so, we learn some interesting things. First of all, is Terra and Beast Boy kind of get together. It's kind of cool to see Tara, who's not a total psychopath and sociopath that she was in the original continuity. Because I like Tara. I like the concept of Tara. We also find out that Ridge's powers turn on and off depending if he's in danger. And seeing he was always in the harvest, he was always in danger. But most importantly, Deathstroke has been contracted by Harvest to get the Ravagers. Will Deathstroke take this contract, or does Deathstroke have something else up his sleeve? You're just gonna have to read and see. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. I like the fact that this had some, downtime for the characters, and there was some nice character moments in this, particularly with Terra, Beast Boy, Ridge, and even Caitlin Fairchild. So I did like that. Um, and there was a nice return of a character. I'm happy that they came back. So that's awesome too. Uh, Deathstroke showing up is gonna be an interesting thing, especially the last few pages that you see, which are shocker of pages. Um, Bad. The only bad I can say is Deathstroke in this. It feels a little different from the Deathstroke that we've had in Justin Jordan's run, especially where he agrees to murder children. I mean, Deathstroke is a murderous bastard. He knows this. But I think he would have a little bit more code of honor, at least in the New 52, about murdering kids. But, putting that all aside, I'm still going to give this a 5 out of 5. Another title that's getting canceled that I'm so upset about. You should still get this series. It's fantastic. Ravagers. Pick it up. Moving on to Suicide Squad, issue number 18. So basically, Yo-Yo's sister, whose name I completely forget, what her stupid code name? Poison Ivy Wannabe. Give me a second, I'll tell you what her stupid code name is. This is gonna bother me because I kind of want to know. Basically, his sister is getting all whacked up. Red Orchid. His sister's getting all whacked up and fucking having teeth come out of her breast. Yeah, you're gonna have to read and see. And Yo-Yo just goes crazy and starts ripping and tearing through people. Uh, and really, this is just to get the package out. Who is the package, though, is important. Who is the package is important. So, as you know, I'm probably stumbling around with this review. Suicide Squad went in to get a package, which is a person, and bring them back to Waller. And in this, they find the package. Who is the package? I'm not going to reveal, but it's someone important to the DCU. At least I think is important to the DCU. In addition to that, we find out that, we find out some stuff in the past with Yo-Yo and what he chooses to do, and there is a climax of an ending. A climax of an ending. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. I kind of stumbled there. I had to think for a sec. But good. Everyone gets a character moment in this, from King Shark to Harley Quinn to Yo-Yo, especially Yo-Yo, and Deathstroke. Not Deathstroke, Deadshot. Everyone gets a moment in this. Some great dialogue in this, some good fighting in this, and never were the villains or the protagonists, I want to call Suicide Squad's heroes, never did anyone feel like they were being overshadowed at all. Nor did they get underutilized. I think everyone was utilized very well. Some great dialogue in this, and like I said, climax to the ending. Bad, the thing about Suicide Squad is the key word I would use is fun here. It doesn't do anything to wow or shock me, but I always have fun reading it. So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. Moving on to Demon Knights issue number 18. So, they finally get Etrigan back, but, Jason Blood is kind of pissed that everyone's using Etrigan as, well, that's the only reason why they want him around, is just to use him. And that Jason Blood is seen as kind of a joke. So what does Jason Blood do? Screw over Etrigan. How does he do this? You're just going to have to read and see. And while this is going on, Kane, Lord of the Vampires, is making his way to Themyscira. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. I think Jason Blood has had some nice moments in this. I particularly like the banter that goes on between everyone in this comic. And very much like Suicide Squad, everyone kind of gets their own moment, which is nice. Everyone kind of gets their own say and their own due, which is good. Great action in this fight, in this comic. Some really good fighting, and a nice ending that is set up. Shit is about to get real. There has been no downtime for this comic at all, and I'm glad about it. It just keeps on going at a nice, fast pace. Bad, zero. It probably didn't wow me at all. Not wow me. It didn't go to the wow extent that some other comics did this week, but I really did love Demon Knights. 4.5 out of 5. Just shy of a 5-star. It was fun. Moving on to some Marvel comics again. So, Fantastic Four, issue number 5. And issue number 4 was the best issue I think I've read of the Marvel Now thus far. I think it was a fantastic analysis of um, Reed Richards as a character, and it really kind of went into him. It divulged into him as a character and showed what was great about him and how he was unique, which made this issue, I think, the most anticipated issue of Marvel Now that I was looking forward to. In saying that, this is probably one of the more disappointing issues of Marvel Now for me. Because while I was hoping to get a lot of the repercussions to Reed acting the way he does, I don't get that as much. Um, Sue and him barely talk. This is more about like the rest of the Fantastic Four dealing with Julius Caesar, who's not really Julius Caesar, which I admit is a pretty cool thing, but it's them dealing with that. I want to see Reed and Sue bicker and banter and all that shit. In saying that, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. It was an okay issue, but just that is okay. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, issue, what is it, 19? Yeah, 19. Season 9. So basically, in this issue, Illyria has lost her powers and Dawn is dying. Buffy needs to find a way to balance her life, as she always fucking does, and she just needs to get her shit together. But we find out what truly is causing the death of Dawn. And we find out it's not a villain. It's not an enemy. It's a someone. Someone close to the Buffy family. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. You know what I'm impressed at? This comic has been, on a whole, kind of shitty lately. I love Buffy to death, but I just felt as though the comic's gone in a completely wrong direction back in season 8, and it's been hard to recover, and it hasn't recovered yet. This particular story arc, I felt as though they've dropped the ball with Illyria as a character, but this issue really bounced back a lot. A lot of raw emotion in this, a lot of good storytelling, and a lot of great dialogue with everyone in this. So that I will give this. The art was good, and I do feel as though everyone kind of I enjoyed everyone's character in this. I felt no one in this was overutilized to the point of boringness, but underutilized to the point that I'm like, what the fuck? And a nice cliffhanger of, not a cliffhanger, but nice setup at the ending. Some touching moments between Xander and Buffy. Um, and stuff is going to get really intense in Buffy in a couple issues. Bad, again, I felt as though I would have liked Illyria to be portrayed a bit differently. I felt as though her character has really de-evolved since after the fall. Besides that, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. This issue actually surprised me. I thought it was going to be crappy, but it turned out to be pretty good. Moving on to Before Watchmen, Ozymandias, issue number 6. Now, I told you guys that I wanted to wait before doing the Before Watchmen reviews again and just do them all at the end. But I kind of want to talk about Ozymandias because this issue freaking rocks. Ozymandias, as a comic, has been one of the top 2 of the Watchmen comics. And maybe I'm being a little biased because he is my favorite character from the series, but I don't think it's the best comic from the series. I think it's the second best. So in the top 2. What the best is, I'll reveal later. Basically, this is the taking Ozymandias' story and then finally bringing it into Watchmen, into the opening scenes in Watchmen. And it's just his plan all coming together. I'm not even going to get into the good or bad and whether or not you should get it really too much because I'm going to review this again in the All My Before Watchmen review. Just know I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Green Lantern Corps, Wrath of the First Lantern, part, what, 6? 6, wow. It's only been 2 months and we're already in part 6. John Stewart gets mind raped by the First Lantern. Just like we've had with Guy Gardner, just like we've had with Kyle Rayner, now that we're having with John Stewart, and we're going to have also with Fatality, is basically the First Lantern doing, hey, this is how your life should have happened, this is what could have happened, this is your life. And it's basically that. It's the same old stuff that we've been getting throughout the whole entire First Lantern arc. Which, mind you, is interesting and it's fun to read. Um, but at the same time, I felt as though this First Lantern really hasn't done anything to make him intimidating. Just he's kind of screwing with people. And with the end of Jeff John's run on the First Lantern coming to an end soon, the end of his run coming to an end soon. That's a little silly to say, but with the end of his run coming soon, I felt as though they're dilly-daddling around this character a lot. 2.5 out of 5. Threshold presents The Hunted, issue number 3. Why am I still picking up this comic? There's just something about it. You know what I like about Threshold? And this issue is just basically more LaFreeze, more Blue Beetle, and more the Renegade Green Lantern. Just kind of in Captain Carrot, Carrot or K-Rot, however you want to call it. What I like about Threshold in this is, and I might as well just jump in the good, bad, and whether or not you should get it. One is I love the concept, just like a space themed DC Universe story that has no connection really to Earth. It's just them doing what they're doing, except for Blue Beetle, but them doing what they're doing. And the LaFreeze stuff is really great. I really want to pick up LaFreeze's own issue when it comes out. And the characters are enjoyable in this, and they grow on you. The only thing that I think kills me is that, and this is gonna, the thing that kills me about this is there's a lot of dialogue, and I feel as though it does get a little draining on me, reading all this. The dialogue, like when I was reading this, it was later at night, and granted, I've been working 13-hour days for the past week. But I felt as though it I got tired reading this, but I enjoyed it all the way through. The Threshold I will give a 4 out of 5 for number 3, for issue number 3. 4 out of 5. Threshold I will continue to pick up. It has intrigued me enough. I enjoy it. So I'm going to put it on my Andrewcutter tentative reading list, which is basically if I see it, I will grab it off the shelf. I'm not subscribed to it yet, but I'll grab it off the shelf. We're coming to the last 2 titles of this week. Superboy issue number 18. So with this, we get a return of a former DC villain who was originally a Wonder Woman villain, but I guess is now going to be a villain for Superboy, which is Dr. Psycho. And the majority of this issue is done in the perspective of Dr. Psycho. Basically, Superboy feels bad about stealing all that money, so he's returning it and going to turn himself in. What happens? One of the Fearsome Five. No, he wasn't a Fearsome Five. Plasma. He wasn't Fearsome Five. He was a Teen Titan villain, though. He was in the Brotherhood of Evil. Shows up and starts beating the shit out of Superboy, and Superboy tries to beat the shit out of him. And Dr. Psycho kind of gets stuck in between. But here's the question. What's Dr. Psycho's plans for Superboy? And what's the startling revelation when he goes into Superboy's mind? Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Interesting enough, Scott Lobdell is back on this title, I guess for an issue or two before Justin Jordan takes over. Good is, I do like the fact that Dr. Psycho is being used, and the great thing about, I've always liked Dr. Psycho as a character, but I never cared for him in the Wonder Woman universe, so it's kind of good that he's going into another comic. I like also the fact that Plasma is being used, a DC villain that's already been established, so we're not making up villains, people, we're using old villains, and we're having fun with them, which is good. Dialogue was pretty spot on, and I do enjoy this interpretation of Dr. Psycho, and I thought Superboy is growing as a character. Bad, the only bad I can say is the design for Dr. Psycho is silly as all hell. It's like, picture this. Let's say you're a guy, and you have a best friend, and your best friend's a guy. Now, picture your best friend running down the street naked, just like, I don't know, just naked, and rolling around the dirt, and then start hugging people and stuff. It looks really silly, and it looks really stupid. That's Dr. Psycho's costume. So, his costume is really is stupid. And the backup issue, or the backup in this, which deals with crypto, which should have been really fun, was executed poorly, in my opinion. And I don't even know who wrote that. Was it? It was Scott Lydell again. Um, I thought Plasma was drawn really well, though. There's some really nice dynamic pictures of him. Whether or not you should get it, 3.5 out of 5. Superboy was a decent issue this month. It wasn't really Superboy's comic, it was more Dr. Psycho's, but I did enjoy it, and I would be interested to see more of Dr. Psycho being Dr. Psycho. It's kind of cool that we're stepping away from him being in Wonder Woman. Moving on to Katana issue number 2. So, Anne Nocenti, I guess that's how you actually pronounce her name, because I'm a douchebag and I can't pronounce, well, names well. Last issue I gave it, I think, a 5 out of 5. It impressed me. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Does this issue live up? So basically, Katana wants to get to her husband's murderer, Coil, and she uses one of his men, or one of the people in his clan, Thrust, to get there. She wants to infiltrate the clan in order to get close and kill him. And she has to go up against a villainous warrior known as Sickle, who uses a hook sword. Will Katana be able to pull this off? Will she be able to infiltrate well, I don't even know what the Sword Clan Assassins? That's actually their names. I didn't really pick up the names. Or will she unfortunately get, screwed over? Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. I feel as though Nocenti does have good voice for Katana. And I do enjoy the art in this. The fighting was pretty good. There was some good fighting in this. Particularly her fight with Thrust was pretty enjoyable. But she does also fight against a bunch of women in a contest, in a battle, to earn Sickle's respect. Yada, yada, yada. Bad is, I felt as though it was a little weird that the bad guys are all like, hey, Katana, join up with us. Yeah, we murdered your husband, but it's not like we're expecting you to try to kill us or anything, but come on, come down. Come on down! I thought that was a little silly. On a whole, whether you should get it, it was a decent issue. Not as good as the first one. I still enjoyed it. 4 out of 5. Katana. Which is funny because she's doing so well with this comic, but she's still sucking on Catwoman. Or Catwoman still sucks. But hey, guess that's how the cookie crumbles, no? News or updates before we get into the comments or question and answers. First and foremost is Batman Year Zero was announced, and basically Scott Snyder said that he's going to be doing Batman's origin in New 52. What are my opinions on this? You're just going to have to wait. I will do a what I am thinking about this hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. St. Patty's Day. We'll see. But basically, yeah, he's doing a Year Zero. So that's going to be 11 issues long. Be prepared. But that's really all that I can think of in comic book news, or in way of comic book news. Yeah, that's all I can think of in way of comic book news. Thought I had something, but I didn't. Except for Raven and Hawkgirl has been introduced in the new Injustice Gods Among Us trailer, which looks really badass, and I'm very happy to see that. So, and they look really good in that. I've been playing a lot of Castlevania Mirror of Fate. I'm showing you the cover on my limited edition 25th anniversary Legend of Zelda 3DS, but I've been enjoying it a lot. I'm on the final story, and I want to say halfway through it. I've been playing it on my break at work, and I've enjoyed it enough that I picked up the Xbox reboot, just Lords of Shadows, and I've been playing that very tentatively. Not because I don't want to, just because I've been short on time. So I might play a little bit of that today before I have to go out. But really enjoying the reboot of this story. And while these are not my favorite games in the series, I think a lot of people are getting very critical of these Castlevania games. I find them to be fun. The only problem I've had with Lord of Shadows Mirror of Fate is the story should have been structured. They go Simon Belmont, Alucard, and Trevor Belmont. It should have been Trevor Belmont, Simon Belmont, Alucard. Other than that, I've been enjoying the game. I thought the gameplay is good and the story is fun. And a lot of people are like, oh, the new God of War, Lords of Shadows, the one that came out in like 2010. Oh, it's nothing but like a God of War ripoff. But it's like, no, I mean, yeah, it kind of is. But like, it's not linear, side scrolling. It's not Metroidvania. I mean, but does every game have to be exactly the same? It gets boring after a while. So I'm enjoying them, and I'm enjoying this game in the series. So we'll see where it goes. Symphony of the Night is still my favorite game, but I'm just biased because I think that was the first Castlevania game that I really, really dug, and I like Alucard in that too. That is, I like that version of Alucard more than this one, but I like the Simon Belmont more than the previous one. Uh, but nothing else really in news, so we might as well get into comments, shall we? Comments and questions and all that fun stuff. And again, what I do is every week I go into the previous comic load of the week and I pick up your comments and your questions and I respond to them because I love interactions with my fellow comic book friends. So, hey Andrew, this comes from Canon's Deus Ex. Um, hey Andrew, two questions. Do you like All Star Weston's current run? Also, do you think we. Oh, do you think we will ever get a Kingdom Hearts 3 game? Uh, Yes and yes. I do love the current All-Star Wrestling run. I think it's really good. If you're not reading, I think you're missing out. And although I'm not a fan of Kingdom Hearts, it's a successful series, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do another one. Moving on. Um, your name is going to be butchered. I'm just letting you know now. Mert Ozgur. I'm sorry if I butcher that. Hey Andrew, since there are a lot of talk of the around a new DC movie universe, how would you go about and do a Justice League movie, a Teen Titans movie, a new Batman trilogy saga? Also, can you detail how you would handle the cast, the characters, the actors, and overall tones of the film? Also, how long would you want this movie universe to last? How many movies and how many years and how many movies? Because the actors do get old. P.S. How will you add Robins into these films? Sorry for. Don't worry about it. It's cool. The only thing I'm not going to get into is just who the actors would be because I have no idea who I would make the actors. How would I go about a Justice League movie? I would do it very similar to the Justice League origin comic that Jeff Johns did, which I think is a fantastic origin for the Justice League. A little slower pace, but it does the job and does it well. Teen Titans movie, I would do very similar to a Marv Wolfman, George Perez Teen Titans, but how they would get together would be a little different, other than aliens invading. Maybe someone has done something to the mentors, and they have to go save the mentors. A new Batman trilogy saga. I would use a lot of villains that haven't been used in the trilogy, and I would make it a little bit more comic booky, but still have it be dark in tone. Maybe use some characters like Black Mask and have a Hush in it, and then maybe an overarching theme that could involve Red Hood. Um, and I would try to make the characters as close to the comic book adaptations I can without them being carbon copies. And how I would add Robins into these films, I would just embrace it. I think people are way too scared to add Robins, then go, oh, it's Robin. Just embrace it and go with it, and then it'll be fun. I mean, we have freaking Spider-Man who runs around and shoots web out of his hands. You can't have a little kid helping out Batman. Hey Andrew, this is from Nick Lenz. Hey Andrew, me again. Two questions for you. First, what would you think of a Kid Flash solo ongoing title in the New 52? Second, what do you think of the current TMNT TV series? I don't really think there should be a Kid Flash ongoing solo. Kid Flash is fun in the New 52, but I don't think he's popular enough to hold his ongoing title. And especially seeing that we still have a lot of characters that have not got their own ongoing title. Cough, cough, Cyborg, cough, cough, who deserve it more than Kid Flash. And plus, Kid Flash, like I think a lot of characters, works best when he's around people. So I think that's why Teen Titans is a good place for him. As for the current TMNT series, I've seen a few episodes. It's good, but I haven't fallen in love with it. Andrew, how do you feel about the new format of the videos? Personally, I prefer it when you had 3 separate videos, maybe even just 2, and Q&A. Could you do Q&A you could do every other week or something like that? The thing is I watch such a long video and maybe something difficult, sometimes difficult. I enjoy the new format of my video because it allows me to do my videos, and it frees up a lot of time for me to do other stuff when I need to, and I'm not tired when I'm doing my videos. I'm putting in all my effort when I'm giving you guys this. Um, Here's what I say to you. If you think my video is too long, Ben's Comics, this is Ben's Comics, it you can always pause it. I do that all the time with the Comic Vine podcast. I listen to the Comic Vine podcast every week. I have it down here, and I paused it at 49 minutes because I wanted to do this video. I can always have it go again. So try pausing the video. That's why I kind of break it up into segments so that you can pause it at any point. You can always listen to it again. But right now, I think people are enjoying the new format, and so am I, and it's so convenient for me, I'm going to stick with it. Is there any chance of you watching Walking Dead? It's amazing. Maybe in the future, but I don't have time for TV. I don't watch any TV anymore. Do you think, and that was again from Ben's Comics. Nick Lenz asks once again, do you think the character Shazam should be called in his pre-52 code name Captain Marvel? Also, do you think Black Lightning should get his own ongoing in New 52? They can't call Shazam Captain Marvel. There's copyright disputes with Marvel Comics. As for Black Lightning getting his own ongoing series, do I think it would succeed? Probably not. Would I be for it? Yes. Similar to Kid Flash, I think Black Lightning works best when he has bouncing. He can bounce off dialogue with people. That's why I think there should be an Outsiders comic, and he should lead the Outsiders. Mario Badilio says, "Hey Andrew, I hope you're doing. I hope you're doing great. My questions are you going to pick up Star Wars ongoing when it comes out in trade? Do yourself a favor and do it, please. Also, would you be willing to give 2 fantastic Marvel series a chance, all new X-Men and Daredevil? Finally, would you read titles from Valiant Universe? Keep up the great work as always. Take care. Thank you. Um, Star Wars ongoing. I might pick up issue number 2 and 3 and just put them in my box and read it on the side. I hear it's good, and I love Star Wars, and this is the regular Star Wars universe, no prequel crap. So I might pick it up and put it on the side. I don't think I'll collect it in trade, though. The only comics I'm going to be collecting in trade now are Justice League, Batman comics, and Wonder Woman. Would I be willing to give 2 fantastic Marvel series a chance? All new X-Men and Daredevil. I've considered Daredevil, but I'm going to tell you a dark secret, and a lot of people are going to be upset about this, or at least be mad with me about this. I don't really care about Daredevil. I think he's a great character and all, but he's never really been appealing to me. I know the series is good. I just have no interest. I mean, I respect the character, and I can understand why people do like him. I just don't care. That's just me. And X-Men, I was going to give it a chance, but it comes out so often, bi-weekly, that I can't afford it right now. Marvel, you're killing me here. With this new Marvel now and doing bi-weekly stuff, it just doesn't work out with my budget. So I would pick it up. It's just I can't afford it. I can't afford doing that many comics. Um, Moving on. Harry Monster 666. Great review, Andrew. My questions: can you recall a time over the years where Batman has taken down Swamp Thing? I don't know. There was some Brave and the Bold stuff in the 70s, but I don't know if he actually fought Swamp Thing. I think there may be at least 3. Oh, well, please let me know. I just want to know if you knew of any instances so I can read. Check out the Brave and the Bold volume, Batman Brave and the Bold volume 3. And I think that will help you out. I'm going to pause this video for a second because I'm going to go downstairs and lubricate my throat with water. Sorry about that. Came back, all set to go. Next question. Just kind of did a thing there. So anyways, Nicholas Johnson asks, which character do you think you would write the best, and which character would you like to write the most? Good one. The character I would like to write the most is Batman. I think that's kind of obvious. The character I think I would write best, I think I would do. I think out of all the characters in the DC universe, ones that I would write the best is Wonder Woman. If I could get a hand on her, I could tell some nice Wonder Woman stuff, I think. Cyborg and Donna Troy and Dick Grayson together. Not like together, but I mean like as friends. I would love to. Any of those would work well. I think I would almost not want to write Batman because I would want to experience the stories how they come. But I have some great Batman ideas that would work very well. That would fix up continuity, but do things really good. Um, this is Oscar or Tanga, if I said that right. Do you believe Injustice Gods Among Us is going to hit the markets in the buying process? I will try to get the game most likely because of the DC characters. It looks epic for me. Are you going to get the game? Yes, I already have it pre-ordered and I'm already paying it off. Slowly but surely, the game is going to be mine. Do you own, this is I Am Super Batman 1993. Holy shit, you're Super Batman? Not going to screw with you. Do you own any Batman games other than the Arkham games and the Brave and the Bold games? I do. I have the Batman Begins game for GameCube, and Batman Vengeance for GameCube. So I have those two along with the others. I'm trying to think, what else would I have? I was just looking at my game shelf now. Yeah, Doc Tomorrow's at my comic book store. I kind of want to get it, but he priced it kind of high. Hey Andrew, ignore the people in the background. Hey Andrew, do you read any and this is from Guy on a Buff a Slug? Okay. Hey Andrew, do you read any indie created owned stuff via Image or Dark Horse? If so, what book or books do you enjoy? If not, well, why not? Um, Indie. What do you mean by indie? I mean, I've been reading as a generous gift from one of you guys. I've been reading Witchblade. I read Buffy and Angel and TMNT, but those aren't created your own. But they're still kind of indie. So I read those. Why don't I do it more? Well, I read Red Sonja also, and I've read Project Superheroes, which I want to get the second chapter of. Why don't I read more? Money, I think. I wish I was rich. I read everything. Um, Calathans Us? If I butchered your name, please correct me. Which characters would you include in the Injustice game that have not been confirmed yet? Good question. I didn't even think about that. Uh, have not been confirmed yet. Hmm. You hit me with a good question. Let's do Red Hood. I think Red Hood should be in it. Starfire. Uh, uh, Mr. Freeze would be kind of fun. He could be like Sub-Zero. Uh, what else? Who else? Who else? Um, Steel would be pretty cool. Have Steel in there. Superboy. And Beast Boy would really be cool in there. So yeah, you can do those. I think those would be cool. Well, I'm just thinking because I would love to have more DLC characters out there. Running through my mind. They already have Deathstroke. Andrew Bennett would be pretty cool in there too. Yeah. Sean Boy 97. Hey Andrew, did you hear about the third Batman Arkham game? It's rumored. If so, what are your thoughts? And do you think it will be a sequel or a Silver Age prequel? They said it's going to be a Silver Age prequel. My thoughts? So far, they impressed me so far with the two Arkham games. I'm sure they're going to do a good job with this one. Michael McGregor. I am reading many DC comics. Swamp Thing, Animal Man, Batman, Batman Robin, Wonder Woman. I'm looking to read a couple Marvel comics and see if I enjoy them. I know you're a DC fan like myself. And I was wondering if you had any recommendations. Someone recommended Uncanny X-Men, All New X-Men, and Hawkeye, but this was coming from someone that prefers Marvel to DC. Yeah, that's tough. You know, a lot of people say that Hawkeye, Daredevil, and All New X-Men are good comics. I don't read them, so I can't comment on them. Out of the comics that I've read from Marvel, I enjoy Fantastic Four. I enjoy what is it called? Captain America a lot. But I think Avengers would be a safe place to go too. Avengers would be, and I would recommend Avengers very much in the way that I would recommend Justice League, is that you get this slew of characters, and then from them you can see what you like. If you read Avengers, you'd be like, oh shit, this Hulk guy is pretty cool. I'll go read the Hulk. Or, hell, who's this Iron Fist? I mean, I'm gonna start reading them. So I think Avengers would be a good start. I would also recommend All New X-Men, even though I don't read it. A lot of people like it. It's very continuity heavy, so be prepared. Wolverine issue #1 just came out. Why not give that a chance? Savage Wolverine has been fun if you like Wolverine and characters. And I'm a little bit of an oddball, but I love Fantastic Four. It's very campy and sci-fi, but in a good way. So I go with that. And that is the comments for the week. So yeah. Sorry I haven't been posting up many videos this week. I've been working literally 13 hours each day, so I've been pooped like you wouldn't believe. I've joined a gym though. I used to work out a lot when I was younger, up till the age of 21. So up till about 4 years ago. And in the past few years, I kind of been slouching, and the reason why is because it's not like I stopped working out, but I haven't been as committed. And the real reason why is just because of work and school. And I've finally taken the steps to say, screw this, I'm gonna go join a gym up again. And I needed to. The weights I have at my house really don't accommodate how much I want to really weightlift. So, um, yeah, uh, joined the gym. So I'm happy. And I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. I'm actually going to go right after this. So that's why I'm in my gym garments to work out. So, yes. Anything else to say? No. Just please, I would like to hear your thoughts and your comments, as always. And I'm going to be doing a what I'm thinking on Damian Wayne, but I'm also going to do what I am thinking on Year Zero. So those are two going to come out this coming week. Okay? This is Andrew saying peace out for now.